Let me ask you something blunt. Do you know how much of your revenue goes straight to payroll? Not your overhead, not your materials, just field labor, the boots on the ground hours you're paying for every single week. Because here's the deal. You could be booking jobs left and right, but if labor is chewing up your revenue before you even get paid, you're not running a business. You're running a payroll machine that doesn't leave much for you. That's why we track labor cost as a percentage of revenue. It shows you how much of your top line is going straight into your crew's pockets and whether there's anything left to keep the lights on. So what is it? Your labor cost percentage is calculated by taking your direct labor and dividing it by your total revenue. So let's define that. Your direct labor is your field crew wages, the hourly salary, plus their taxes, workers' comp, and benefits, anything tied to doing the work. The revenue? Well, that's what you billed and collected from clients. So if you did $1.2 million in revenue last year and spent $480,000 on field labor, $480,000 divided by $1.2 million is 0.4, or 40%. That means 40% of your revenue went straight to labor, before materials, before subs, before overhead, before profit. You better hope the rest of your business is lean because the margin's already shrinking. Here's a job site analogy. Imagine you're building a house and handing out 40% of the final sales price before the slab is even poured. You're paying your crew before you paid yourself, before the job is done, before you even know if you'll be on time or on budget. If labor is chewing up too much of your top line, you're feeding the crew but starving the company. So what is a healthy labor cost percentage? This depends on whether you're a general contractor or a specialty contractor, but for general contractors where we have more subs and less self-performed work, 15 to 25% is pretty strong. If it's 26 to 35%, well, that's acceptable, but you got to keep your overhead tight. If it's 36 to 45% plus, well, you're carrying a heavy labor load. If you're self-performing trades, concrete, framing, HVAC, etc., if you're talking 25 to 30%, that's pretty solid. If you're at 36 to 45%, well, you're okay if your jobs are priced right. But if you get over 45%, that's a red flag. Either you're overstaffed, underpriced, or inefficient. So let me give you a real contract example. I had a residential remodeler with a full crew of 7. They were booked 3 months out. Revenue looked healthy. He did $1.5 million a year, but his profit, $18,000 net for the whole year. That's not a business. That's a high-stress hobby. So we broke it down. Direct labor, $630,000. Labor costs was 42% of his revenue. So by the time materials, overhead, and change order slippage hit, there was nothing left. So we took action. We priced his jobs based on target labor ratios. We let go of one underutilized crew member. We increased accountability per day and per job phase. We adjusted field to admin ratio. And 6 months later, with the same leaner crew, his labor cost was 34% of revenue. Net profit up 6 times. Same hustle, smarter structure. So how do you improve your labor cost as a percentage of revenue? So number one, I would say estimate your labor hours job by job. Don't wing it. Build your schedule backwards from productivity targets. Number 2, review weekly labor costs versus revenue. Know where you stand before the job's over. Number 3, cross-train your crew. One guy who can frame and finish saves time and payroll. Number 4, raise your rates if your labor is eating your margin. If your price doesn't reflect your labor load, your price is wrong. And number 5, track labor efficiency per job and per phase. Don't wait until year end to find out you overpaid to install baseboard. So here's the final word. Labor is your biggest expense and your easiest to lose control of. You're not just paying for work, you're paying for time, risk, supervision, and opportunity cost. So ask yourself, is my crew building margin or just building hours? Because if 40% of your revenue is gone before lunch, you're not scaling. You're just spinning your wheels faster.